creature. Why to violate anyone's rights?
Yes, we should call it as it is, which is racism, right? America shows us racism now in those interviews, in the way they are speaking about this conflict. This is, like, for me, very sickening, but they literally said, one of the reporters said, look at those people, when he was showing the Ukrainian refugees. Look at those people. They're not somewhere in the Middle East. They're one of us. They're blonde, with blonde hair, blue eyes. This is really, this is crazy. And they say that on national TV. It's not
Yeah,
some minor, yes, it is not some like minor station. It is national
yeah,
TV news. And they say
yeah.
stuff like that. And so if we don't, and this is maybe a little bit of
See,
topic, but if we
they
don't
are not
intervene,
responsible.
yeah,
That means.
they will continue like this. And this shows a really, really massive problem that Europe and United States still has with racism that they won't necessarily admit.
Yeah, exactly. And Natalie, we were also talking about the situation where we've seen a lot of news packages and articles that people who were not Europeans or people with fair skin were only treated well, and they were allowed to cross the border. But those who weren't fair skin, they were actually like pushed back in the line, and they were stopped going to cross the border. You told me that these facts are only from Ukraine side. So now, isn't
Yes, they were
something weird
confirmed.
that the guards which are guarding the border in Ukraine, they're actually seeing everything from their eyes, right? That
Yes.
bombing, that shelling, that crisis, but still they have so much racism that they're stopping people at that point when you're just going through that worst and ridiculous thing in your country. You should have been very weak or very soft from heart, that you're supposed to help anyone and everyone who comes to you. You just support them and help them. Why at that moment even Ukraine is also doing that?
Yes, that's also a very good question. And at first, when I've heard the news about this discrimination at the border, I've heard it's both sides. I've heard it's from Polish as well as Ukrainian side. But after that, it was confirmed by those refugees that this was only on the Ukrainian side. And as soon as it got confirmed that the Ukrainian border guards are the problem here, then we were working on like social media and trying to send numbers and locations for those students from Nigeria, from India, from Pakistan who were stuck at the Ukrainian border to go to a different border pass where there are Polish guards, because Polish guards already knew that they have to help them and that they are stuck there. And also Polish embassies of those countries contacted Polish government. So on the Polish side of the border, someone from embassy, for example, from Nigeria, was waiting for those people. So luckily it ended well and nobody got hurt. But it doesn't change the fact that, Ukrainian guards were racist at this time, when they should help everyone, right? Everyone is in the same situation. Everyone is running for their life. Actually, they're running from the war, and there shouldn't be ones that are treated differently only because they're a darker complexion, because they usually speaks Ukrainian perfectly. They study in Ukraine. They know the language,
And
but
I
still,
also don't understand one thing, Natalia. Like, for instance, if we both are fair skin, we never choose that fair skin, right?
yeah.
If we have colored eyes, we've not, never choose that. And if someone who's black, he never choose to be black, right? Everyone is beautiful in his own way, and that's what it's written in God's scripture as well. If I talk about the holy book, that's clearly written in there. There's a verse from Surah Taghabun, where it is clearly written from the God that we've created all of you in beautiful shapes, and we've created you different so that you guys can know each other well. And that's all. But why so much racism in the world is still there when we call ourselves that we're civilized and we're progressive states, but still this is happening. So now coming to the United States part as well. there's some interesting point which I really want to talk to you about the role of China, right? Like Biden is putting so many sanctions on Russia. We're seeing that they're even putting travel bans and stuff. And then again, we have something tougher time through NATO, and EU is also expected to be. And we've also seen that there was a UN General Assembly a session as well, where only four nations supported Russia, but major nations supported, they were actually neutral. And China was also neutral. They never supported anyone in US General Assembly. And they said that we just stay neutral, right? So neutral means that they don't want to be part of that conflict. And China did a very right thing. But later on, when this happened, you know that United States and all of the channels in United States and in West, they started projecting that why United States did not voted against Russia, why they were neutral. I think we should have hard time with China. What do you think? The anchor was asking question on national television from analysts that what do you think? How should China be treated? I mean, I don't understand. China has just voted neutral. Then why do you say that? How should we deal with China? What sort of question is this? How do you see that scenario?
Yes, I can see from the European perspective as well. The feelings toward China are similar. Why China is not responding? So it means just why China is not siding with Ukraine. And many European countries ask this way, and I feel that they are starting to resent China because China didn't like said there on Ukrainian side. And other thing is that
But Natalia, they never voted in support of
yes,
any other state, right? They're neutral. So when someone is neutral, that means he just want to be away from that fuss and he don't want to be a part of that. Whereas United States is playing very weirdly, and only those who keep an eye on global politics know that how United States is still working on the agenda to just put through Russia through all sanctions and just to put Russia in worse times.
okay, so the Europe feels that China actually helps Russia in the in means that they still buy their products, still export or import their gas. So this is actually the main, I think, concern for Europe. That why is they are putting on sanctions on Russia, right? But they
Okay.
feel that maybe those sanctions won't hurt Russia enough if China keeps buying from Russia. So I think this is the thing. They kind of feel that
So
China
the
is
main concern is that
yes,
from the
they
perspective of
yes.
China and
Yes,
Russia.
they feel that China is making their work harder, which is putting
Okay.
sanctions on Russia, because they know that if they, for example, let's say in Poland, we now don't have many Russian products; they were all cancelled. But actually, China will buy those products from Russia, so maybe Russia won't suffer that much. And this is why Europe is angry, let's say, even angry at China. And also because, as you said, China is a neutral state, they chose to be neutral. But Switzerland, that was also a neutral state for more than 500 years, broke those neutrality now. So they see it and they want the same from China, as well as Japan, right? Japan was a fairly neutral country with pacifist constitution, and they still sided with Ukraine. They are helping Ukraine. They are sending the aid. So I think that's what Europe sees, and they want China to do the same.